So, guys, welcome to the fourth class about tactical systems. I hope you are well. I think we have people here from different countries, from Indonesia, from Brazil, from Europe. All of you guys feel welcome to our course. This class will be totally free for you, and I hope you guys enjoy this moment. And also, I would like to inform you we have a chat over here. You feel free to answer to uh, question any kind of thing you want according to the theme of the presentation or not, according to anything you want to know from me, and I will answer as soon as possible. Okay, the dynamic will be like here. I will present everything I bring today, and after the class, Ivan will send me on WhatsApp every question you send to the chat, and I will answer one by one until we finish the time. Okay. I hope you guys have a good time here. And thanks again to join us in this Sunday. I think will be a very good time. I'm not here to talk about myself, but I will just do a quick introduction about my career. Currently, I'm a Persija assistant coach. Persija is a big team in Indonesia, and I met Ruxi, who is the CAO of the Game Changer here, and we are working in some project together. So that's why I'm here to talk a little bit about tactical systems. In the fourth class, we will show you some different examples of duels. We will see one example of a 4-3-3 against 4-2-2, Liverpool versus Real Madrid. And in other moments, we will see a 3-2 shape, 3-2-5 shape from Brighton, playing against different defensive shape. And we discuss about the references that we use during the course to analyze tactical systems thema. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy and feel free to question something. So in these moments, it's important to us to understand we have general spaces when we discuss about tactical system, right? So this general space, we already spoken about them in the other classes, and they are driving us to the references that we use here. Uh, First of all, we have to understand which tactical system the defense team will use or are using. So if they are using, for example, this 4-4-2 shape in defense, we already know the general spaces for 4-4-2 are some spaces between the lines, especially in the pockets, right pockets and the left pockets, and also the spaces behind the first line of pressure. And also, after that, we have to see which tactical systems the attacking team is using to understand the overloads of the spaces that we have in each zone. For example, in this image, we have a 3-2-5 playing against a 4-4-2. We understand in the first moment of build up from the red team, they have a 3 versus 2 uh, superiority to build up. All right. And we already know if they play with a good dynamic here, they will beat these two guys easily when we compare the same offensive shape attacking a 4-3-3 defensive shape because the 4-3-3 has three players in front. Okay, so that's important to us to understand in the general spaces because before we see the real spaces, we have to see. So I'm looking for this game, and this game showed me the attacking team is using the 3-2-5 shape to attack, and the defensive team is defending a 5-3-2. I have to understand where should be the spaces from the offensive team before we know the real spaces, because the real spaces will show us what is happening in a real situation. So in this example here, we have a 3-2-5 team, PSG, attacking Reims. Reims is in a 4-1-4-1. So this 4-1-4-1 from Reims can be different from another kind of 4-1-4-1. If they decide to bring this guy, to jump with this guy, to pressure here, we have one kind of the space. Or if another team has the behavior to bring this guy to press the right side of the build up from PSG, we have a different kind of spaces. It means beside we look only for general spaces, we have to look for the real spaces and the dynamics that will happen in the game. That's why I'm here today to explain you what we can look for to analyze a duel against two tactical systems. Okay, and during the course in the other classes, I already speak about uh, about the references that I use to analyze them. I will talk about them today, but I'm not going deeply because I already did in the other classes. Okay, so we will see here in this example in this tactical board what I was talking about. So let's put this team here. Let's put this team here to this guy actually is number 10. Okay, no problem. So let's put the red team to attack in 3-2-5. Okay, and the blue team to defend in a 4-4-2 shape. Okay, we already know in this kind of duel we have the same superiority that we see in the picture before. So the first superiority we have here is from the 3v2 created in the first zone. This 3v2 situation from the first zone can be used by offensive team in the sides if the central forwards defend like this, close in the middle. Or I have already watched some examples in Brazil that the defensive team just put one player to defend here and other player to defend here. So the spaces will be inside. All right. So what it means? It means we already know we have a 3v2 situation in the first moment, but what will show us about the spaces that I have as an offensive team to exploit is according to the dynamic of pressure from this guy. So I have already watched some examples that these two guys just stay and mark from the front both defensive midfielders, and they just jump with these two guys here to press this space. So they make like a 4-2-2-2. So what it means? It means the spaces from this situation will be different when we analyze a different kind of situation. Okay, and it's important to us to understand not only the difference between two different 4-4-2 dynamics of pressure, but also the to understand the difference between the 4-4-2 and the 4-1-4-1, for example. So if we have a 4-1-4-1, probably we have two players to cover both defensive midfielder, and we have one player to cover the offensive midfielders, right? We have a 4 versus 3 here. If we play in a 4-4-2, probably we have a 4 against 2 in the middle, like that. If these guys are not worrying to defend the central midfielder, or in some movements of the game they are higher to press, and these guys can come to receive the ball closer, probably these guys from the blue team, number 11 and number 10, they will be in trouble to defend 4 players. All right. So it changes the spaces and the references that we watched from the first example in 4-1-4-1 to this second example to 4-4-2. Also, we can have the possibility to understand this with a 4-4-3-3, for example. If you guys watched the game against Botafogo against PSG in the World Club Championship, you see Botafogo defending PSG in a 4-3-3. What it means? It means they pressed one by one in front duel, and also they have two guys here to press, and they have one guy here to take care of both the offensive midfielders. When the balls or when the ball comes out like this, they just bring this guy to press here, and the opposite side is free. But to the guy from the ball to achieve to reach that spot with the free man, it's a long ball, and in the ground is almost impossible to reach this zone because there are a lot of diagonals being used here from Botafogo that not allow this guy to play the ball all the way there. And if he wants to play, it has to be a aerial ball. And aerial ball gives the time for the defenders or for whoever wants to press there to come and press, because the ball is going to be hard to play in one touch. Probably number 7, if receives the aerial ball here, he should receive this ball and use more than one touch to take his best decision. Okay, so Botafogo finds this way to press because they think it's better to create a 3v3 in the middle instead of putting just two guys to press. I really like this because Botafogo just put the feet on the ball here, and both wingers from PSG, to receive the ball, they have to come and receive the ball here. So what it means, they are away from the Botafogo's goal. And most of the time, these guys jumped here and they make a 3 like this, 3-4-3 shape, and could defend PSG very well. So most of the time, the way that PSG found a spaces to play against Botafogo and create chances, that's the way when they receive the ball in this spot with this guy free. Sometimes they just use the closer spaces here to play a third man with this guy. Sometimes they just put the ball outside to use these spaces here to bring this guy outside and to make this number 6 have trouble to defend two players, because they don't want to put this guy, the central midfielder, to defend in the side. So they just keep this guy here because sometimes he just enter in the central zone to help the defensive line. This information is very important because sometimes this 2v1 here happened a lot. And then when this kind of thing happens, this guy should drop and close this passing line. But do it to the ball's speed. Sometimes he doesn't have space and time or pacing to come back and return closing. So that's why sometimes PSG found spaces with number 8, playing outside, play inside, and this player has difficulty to close the number 9 passing line and number 8 passing line. That's how PSG most of the time could create spaces in the opposite side. If you guys watch the video or if you watch the third class from this course, we will see these examples, as I said before. So this is an introduction, you guys, to understand how can we, based on just the first duel of 3v2 or 3v1 or 3v3, how can we create and influence the other parts of the game? And how can we, as a defensive team, can use some kind of situations uh, uh, to avoid some plays from the opposite team. So if I know I'm defending a 4-3-3 and the spaces beside the block are the good spaces for the opponent, I have to create something to avoid this space. And what PSG did, what Botafogo did against PSG, they just jumped with this guy like frontally, then this guy doesn't have space to play the ball through the last line. He just should play the ball here, and this space or can be closed from this guy, and we keep the last line balanced with the 4 players as we started. Or if we bring one player from our last line, we can keep this guy here, we can keep this guy here, and we can also enter with this guy inside of the line, and we keep the same shape. See, we have 4-3-3, the same shape. The pieces just change the rules, but the the shape is the same, and we can create a different kind of defensive options for our team. It's just to you guys understand my main idea for this class. Okay, so feel free again to put your question there, to uh, uh, to to say something that you're not agreeing with me in this class, it's okay as well. I'm here to learn from you guys too. Okay. So then I created here a checklist of tactical system confrontation analysis. Sorry. When I will analyze one tactical system confrontation, I will see all of these 3 points that I'll show you guys here to understand not only the general spaces as I showed you in the second slide, but also I will see about the real and functional spaces that I showed you in the third slide and also in the tactical board, right? So the first thing I should pay attention is find the crucial spaces in this duel. We will see Liverpool against Real Madrid video soon, and we will see what is the crucial spaces for this duel. We have to find this crucial space. And one important thing here, these crucial spaces can be general, as I showed you. For example, if I'm defending in a 4-3-3, the spaces beside the block are normally vulnerable spaces, but can be a conducive space by one of those teams, especially from the defensive one. Because if we see we are in a shape that gives some vulnerable spaces for the opponent, we can create some dynamics to close these spaces before the opponents reach these vulnerable spaces, because we want to give them another kind of spaces. I showed in the third class also one video from Glasner, who is Crystal Palace coach. He was talking about the final of FA against Manchester City, and he was explaining how they closed the pocket, which is a very good spot for Manchester City. They really like to use this spot as their 3-2-5 or 3-1-3 shaped to attack. They are used to use these spaces so often, and they just said we closed the spots. We doesn't jump in Manchester City central midfielders to keep our back closed and covered, and we give them by this behavior, we give them the spaces wide. What it means? It means they have a very good players outside to play in 1v1, but instead of giving the pocket spaces for them, we give the outside space. What it means? It means most of the time in this game, they have to defend 1v1 in the sides very well, and also they have to defend the box very often because Manchester City crossed a lot of the balls in this duel. And he said, "Oh, I'm okay with that because my team defends well the crosses." And what it means, it means uh, Glasgow and Crystal Palace just conduced the spaces from general spaces in the pockets to the side spaces that they want Manchester City to play, because they know defensively it's better to them to defend the box with crosses than defend Manchester City from the grounded ball in the pockets. That's why we have to understand the crucial spaces in this duel and try to find the second point. Discover the dynamics that used to help the teams to use this space, this crucial space. What I mean, how the other pieces from this duel help the crucial spaces to appear or to be used. So I will show you guys in the video, but I will show here in the in this tactical board as well. So let's imagine Liverpool is trying to play in a 4-3-3 with one player here. All right. And Real Madrid is trying to close this space with two guys. And Liverpool crucial spaces for this game will be this guy behind the first pressure. So they try to play with number 5 as often as they could to create a 3v2 in the middle, because Real Madrid is playing with two central midfielders. All right, let me put here with the correct numbers. Okay, and they are trying to put number 8 and number 10 to play against 3. So against 2, when they have this ball here, they create a 3v2 in the middle. So they have to do this is the crucial space as I showed you in the first moment here. So in the second moment, they have to do some different movements to find and to create advantage from Real Madrid inside of this crucial spot. What they did, mainly, first moment, they just bring this guy to the line of the defender, and also this guy into the line of the defender. They create a four shape like this. Because of what? They need this guy to jump there. They need this guy to jump there because if they could open these spaces between these two guys and between these two guys, they will play the ball through here for number 5 to create 3v2 in the middle. So the mainly spot, the final spot they want to achieve is the middle spot to create 3v2. The first thing they did is bring this guy closer here to press and create space in the side. Because if they put these guys here and this guy here, probably when the ball comes here, they have the wingers closed here and they are not creating spaces. So they just put this guy here. As soon as the winger close there, they have spaces to receive from the center defense, the central midfielder here. Other thing they did well, bring these guys outside. They bring this guy here and this guy here. What it means? It means if number 5 and number 8 follow them, they have spaces to bring the ball by dribble inside. And if they are not following outside players, probably this guy have option to play one of them. And also one important detail here. If these guys are here and closer, probably they are in the vision spot, in the camp vision from this guy. Because if they play here, they can see this guy and can jump. And he is closer to the receiver than to the player from the ball. What it means? It means the pass here doesn't make any sense. That's why they create a positional advantage outside here and outside here, because here they can receive the ball outside, or even if they see this guy just looking the ball, they can jump here and receive the ball in behind, already beats this line. So due it to that, most of the time with the 2 or 3 passes, Liverpool will be with a 4 against 4 situation many times in this game because of the breaking line. And they just beat 6 players here with a very clear dynamics. So the first thing, find the crucial spaces in this duel, can be the general spaces or can be the conducive one. And also we can discover which dynamics they are using to help the team to get the crucial spaces. That's the second point. And also we have here the third point. The third point is after reach the crucial space, how the team behaves. So let's take a look in that example that I give you right now. If Liverpool reach the crucial space in the middle, if he gets the ball, what are the behaviors? What they're gonna do? They're gonna dribble the ball, they're gonna pass the ball. As soon as they beat these two guys, what's gonna be the next step? What's gonna be the next action? This guy will be open, this guy will be closed, these guys will be open, this guy will try to find unmarking run here. He will be more option in the feet. What's gonna do? He's gonna support in other way. He's gonna support here. So 3 mainly points for here. Find the crucial spots, find the dynamics, and after reach the crucial spaces, we see what the teams can do. Okay. Okay, let's watch some videos. And I bring this to the first classes. I discussed a lot about the general references when we're facing tactical system discussion. So we talk about direction of jumping. We talk about direction of covering. For example, if this guy is jumping, this guy can cover or this guy can cover. what's the difference between this cover by number 9 or this cover made by number 2. So we discuss a lot about this. In the second class, we talk about the duels references. So we discuss a lot about how can we get advantages in duels, and we see different examples from today. And also in the third class, we discuss about 3-2-5, which is a very good shape to attack and very used shape. Most of the teams use this shape to attack. And what are the 7 advantages from this kind of shape to attack? And in the end, I just put one recommendation from what's the best tactical system to defend the 3-5. And the fourth class is what we are talking today. There's a full course about uh, tactical systems. Okay, guys?